Women secretly check their husbands' computers every day. Unexpectedly they discovered a shocking truth. A young girl always appears around the husband, although the two don't seem to have any intimate actions. With the keen intuition unique to women, she firmly believes their relationship is unusual, so she clicked on the girl's social media account, found out her name is Senya, and her relationship status shows single. To confirm her suspicions, Laura dressed up with great care. Her husband had just stepped into the house. She warmly greeted him. Faced with his wife's affectionate gestures, Chris just casually responded, not even willing to linger his gaze. Laura didn't expect her husband to be so cold. She immediately understood everything in her heart. That night, both slept peacefully without disturbing each other. Little did he expect that at 4 in the morning, Chris was abruptly awakened by a text message. He was just about to check what the message said, only to find that Laura beside him was still awake, and directly asked who was messaging him so late. Chris had no choice but to say it was a colleague, hoping to brush it off like that, but then his phone dinged again. Laura couldn't sit still any longer. She immediately got up to check his phone. Chris used marital trust as an excuse. He firmly rejected this excessive request. Seeing her husband so flustered and uneasy, Laura wanted to grab the phone directly. Chris was instantly at a loss. He suddenly swung his hand. The phone shattered into pieces in an instant. He thought Laura would be furious. Unexpectedly the next morning, undefined, Laura acted as if nothing had happened. Not only did she kiss Chris, she also apologized to him for last night. Chris didn't think much of it and hurried off to the company. But what he didn't know was, the moment he left, Laura tried to recover the data from his phone, but since the SIM card was registered under Chris's name, the customer service directly refused her request. Realizing this path wouldn't work, Laura blended into her husband's company banquet. Sure enough, she saw Senya there. Tonight she was dressed particularly beautifully. However, before the banquet ended, the two suddenly disappeared. Laura hurriedly searched everywhere, only to see Senya sneaking towards the second floor. Her husband's office happened to be there too, so she quietly followed, to avoid being noticed. She carefully took off her shoes as well, but it was this very detail that made her lose the target. Just as she was puzzled about what to do, a strange noise suddenly came from the next room. Her heart skipped a beat. She slowly moved toward the door following the sound, but with just one glance, her heart completely sank. After arriving home, Laura felt a pang of sadness in her heart. Not long after, a fierce light flashed in her eyes. Early the next morning, Chris couldn't wait to confront Laura. He expected her to fly into a rage, but she was unusually calm. She even exposed his infidelity to his face. That wasn't all. She delivered a fatal blow, threatening him with divorce. She would expose his financial fraud, making his imprisonment inevitable. Chris didn't expect his wife to be so ruthless. He had to discuss surrendering with his partner, but for the company's future, the partner directly rejected his proposal. Just as Chris was caught in a dilemma, Senya urgently called him over. They had just reached a secluded spot. She eagerly asked Chris about the progress of the divorce. To calm her down, Chris had to lie and say his wife had agreed to the divorce. Unexpectedly, Senya took it seriously, excitedly suggested taking her to meet his parents over the weekend, but Chris was actually planning to gather dirt on his wife, to strengthen his negotiating position. For this purpose he specifically drove to another city. However, he was unaware. All his actions were under Laura's surveillance.